sleek and smooth with no corners or edges. And it's small enough to be placed in anywhere in your home. It makes Google Home more accessible to more people in more rooms. And as you can see, almost the entire enclosure is made out of fabric. And it's not just about aesthetics, it's core to the product experience. That is why we created this material from scratch, right down to the yarn. It needed to be durable and soft, but also transparent enough to let through both light and sound. This perfect balance allows for all of Mini's technology to be thoughtful, tucked away underneath the clean, simple enclosure. So the 4 LED lights under the fabric are there when you need them, lighting up to show you that it hears you or it's thinking. And you can control it by touch. Give the fabric a quick tap to pause your music, adjust the volume, or talk to your assistant. We thought a lot about how to get great sound with such a small product too. We embraced Mini's circular shape to project 360-degree sound, so it's really crisp no matter where you stand in the room. You'll be surprised how amazing the quality is. And if you want bigger sound, you can easily connect Mini to any Chromecast built-in speaker wirelessly. We created Mini in 3 beautiful colors: coral, chalk, and charcoal. Color really matters in the home. This is the place where we choose our drapes and carpets and paint colors with so much care. We brought that same level of care for Mini. For the chalk color alone, it took us 157 tries before we found the perfect shade of gray. So that's Google Home Mini with all the power of the Google Assistant. You can make it your sous chef in the kitchen, your white noise machine in the nursery, your voice remote for your TV in the living room, or your alarm clock in the bedroom, or all of the above. Mini will retail for just $49 in the US, and it's going to be available for pre-order online starting today, and in stores starting October 19th from major retailers. We're also really happy to announce that Mini is coming to all 7 Google Home countries. So with that, let's take a look at this ad that will launch later this week.
What's this little thing? Well, it's Google Home Mini. You put it in your house and control it with your voice. Hey Google, play my fun playlist.
Okay, playing now.
Play my fun playlist.
Okay, playing now.
It's also a remote control, an alarm clock, and a sous chef.
Let it cool for 10 minutes.
It can play you this on TV or that on the internet. It can tell you the weather or if your flight's delayed because of the weather. And it knows the difference between you and your husband.
Hey.
So if you go, hey Google, call Alex, it won't call your husband's friend Alex. It'll call your friend Alex.
Calling Alex.
Hey, how are you? Okay, gotta go, girl. Anyway, it's made by the same people who help you find stuff on the internet. So you know, no biggie. It's smaller than a donut and weighs less than a full-grown chipmunk without the nuts. It's powered by the Google Assistant, so it has Google Maps, Google Calendar, it gets you to all your music, lots of your favorite shows, all of YouTube, and lots and lots and lots of other stuff you love. All for less than 50 bucks. Yeah, it's Google Home Mini. A little help at home, like only Google can.
Thanks, Isabel. We can't wait for you to try out Mini. We also want to share how the Google Assistant continues to get better over time. From the start, we've been helping people with their everyday routines. For example, one of my favorite features is My Day. which gives me a personalized briefing of my important events of the day. And with Voice Match, each member of the house can get their own unique start to their morning routine. Well, soon we're going to be extending routines in two important ways. First, we're adding more routines to help you with those everyday moments, like getting ready to leave for work, coming home in the evening, or turning in for the night. Second, we're adding additional actions to the routines. So now when I say good morning, I not only get my personal briefing, but I also can turn on the lights, start the coffee maker, and even play my favorite morning playlist. This kind of help is exactly what I need to get my day started. Now, another ritual for me in the morning is I'm always looking for my phone before heading to work. Well, the Google Assistant can help there too. Just say, hey Google, find my phone. And we'll automatically ring your Android phone, even if it's on silent mode. And for iPhone users, we just give you a call. It's good. It saves me 5 to 10 minutes every morning. Yes. Now we're also working to make the smart home work better for you. The Google Assistant can now voice control over 1,000 different smart home products from over 100 brands. And even more importantly, we brought our deep expertise of natural language processing to make it easier to
Hello.
in a more
Hello. Welcome to the stream. We're going to watch a little bit of this Google presentation because Google is in everything. Everything. They're in everything. So let's see what they're going to talk about. Because you know.
Okay, warming up the living room.
Your assistant knows what warmer means.
Like Google Assistant, if there's going to be an AI that's going to take over the world, Google Assistant is going to be that fucking AI. So that's why I think it's important to just take a little look and see what they're talking about, because really, this is like next level shit they got right now.
More thoughtful way. Your home should smartly adjust to you, not the other way around. Google and Nest are working together to reimagine the smart home. To tell you more, I'd like to welcome Yoki, CTO of Nest.
Let's see what he's gonna say. We're automating the world. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, jobs.
Thank you, Rishi. At Nest, we like to talk about the thoughtful home, one that takes care of the people inside it and the world around it. We recently took a big step forward in achieving that goal by doubling our portfolio by shipping 6 new hardware products. What I love about Nest's growing ecosystem is that we combine the best-in-class hardware and machine learning to help make people's lives easier.
Alright, so this is lagging a bit, so we're just going to go see Nest products and see what they do. Because basically the point is that Nest and Google are going to work together, and now they've got like the ultimate in automation. Ooh. So let's see. Looks like they've got an outdoor security camera, a thermostat, another security camera, doorbell. Oh, I've seen a lot of those doorbells. And what's this thing? Is this thing a foot massager? What's that? What's this thing? I guess that's one of the controller things, maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, this thing. I guess it's the controller pad, I'm guessing. Alarm system. Cool. So basically they're integrating everything into your life. 1984, man. This is the, you know, what if they decided to sell this information to the government, or the government got their hands on it because they just were like, nah, fuck you, we're going to take it. This is ours. You know, it's kind of scary to think of what would happen with all this information. You know, what would happen if someone's able to hack it? You know, these situations where it's like, oh, no guns, you know, liberal dream, like, you know, everybody's got this, but like the bad guys are still gonna have guns. So what happens if the bad guys learn how to hack, you know, the fucking hack the security system, you know, when it's out there? Hell, even if it's only out there for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something, you know, that's still how many houses are getting broken into, how many houses that are just getting destroyed. I hope they got renter's insurance. But so that's cool. That's really the only thing we wanted, or I wanted to talk about on this. So I want to say I could probably close this. Yeah, I could close this. And then this guy is going to go full screen. Boom. Because we got something going on in the background. I think that's why the buffering is so bad. Let's see. Video input loud. Yeah. Viewers will experience buffering. Man, I hate that. I'm sorry about the buffering. I'm sorry about the lag. I'm sorry about the lag. There's a new video coming out and I started rendering it. Alright. So, I have up here, I've got a subreddit called Uncensored News. Let me move my head. Hello, head. A little bit tinier. Boom. Alright, so get my little head out of the way. Alright, now we're on the side. Alright, so this is what I have up just right now because I just wanted to have a default thing just out there. So we're gonna take a look at Reddit and read the front page of Reddit and take a look. And then also we're gonna look at a couple other things. So this is one of the subreddits that we're not gonna talk about right now, but one of the ones I really like going to, and that's Uncensored News. So I really like Uncensored News because regardless left or right, it's pretty partisan. Partisan, yeah, or bipartisan. You know, they do a pretty good job of sticking to their own little sections. So I think this is a good one to look at, but most of the time we just do this. We go up, we click home, and then it goes to our page, and then this is where we take a look at all of our stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. I opened up a few things already, so we'll just take a look. So this one is from the subreddit Technology, and it says, FCC Chairman Ajit Pai accused of cherry-picking data to repeal net neutrality. So now we're just going to click Reno and see what it says. Alright, so the title's just like the title was before, net neutrality, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so chances are, especially if you reside in the United States, you've heard a thing or two about net neutrality. There are those who are in firm support of net neutrality, most tech giants like Amazon and Google, for instance. And there are those who are greatly against it, including the current FCC. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai has made it very clear that he would be doing everything he can to scale back some of the regulations around internet service providers in the United States and how they choose to use their networks. As part of his argument, Pai has repeatedly cited a drop in investment from wireless companies during 2016, a year after net neutrality rules took effect. However, it looked like he overlooked some important statistics from other years, which could prove that there is no causation involved here. So let's do a brief background on net neutrality. For those who are not familiar with the issue, net neutrality essentially aims to regulate the wireless industry so that every content on the internet is treated equally. Under this set of rules, network cannot collect fees to prioritize certain information, and they cannot discriminate against websites and services that rely more heavily on data. During the Obama administration, the FCC actively advocated for and eventually approved these rules under the guidance of former Chairman Tom Wheeler. Since the 2016 election in the United States, the appointment of Ajit Pai as the new chairman of FCC in January 2017, however, the organization's attitude towards net neutrality changed drastically. Dominated by Republican-affiliated former businessmen, the FCC now wants to undo the classification of ISPs as Title II common carriers and gut net neutrality in order to create positive economic effects. The agency has already voted to move forward with Pi's plans, which prompted 40 tech giants to organize a day of action back in July. Fortunately, the proposal won't proceed until the FCC gathers enough public feedback over the next few months. Pi has been using this period to sway the general public, specifically by providing investment data that reportedly indicate the economic harm that net neutrality rules have created. Except his use of the said data doesn't necessarily establish causation and is rather misleading. So about that 9% drop. Pi's argument for the repeal of net neutrality rules lies heavily within his economic argument. In particular, he has repeatedly cited investment data from wireless companies which show that there was a 9% decrease in yearly expenditures by Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint in 2016. Indeed, that's a year after net neutrality was enacted, and Pi's claim, as you may have guessed, is that these rules are dissuading companies from spending money. However, there are a few problems with his argument. First, as Democrat FCC Commissioner Mignon Clyburn argues, 2016 was not the only year that the U.S. saw a decline in investment from the four major carriers. By highlighting a decrease in investment between 2015 and 2016, this section was clearly written to support the false narrative that the 2015 Open Internet order deterred wireless carriers from investing in their networks. Despite my office's request, this report does not include data from the 19th, 18th, and 16th competition reports, which showed investment from all commercial wireless companies declined from $33.1 billion in 2013 to $30.9 billion in 2015. In case you missed it, those reports predated the 2015 order. Also, despite my request, this report does not include CTIA's investment data, indicating that investment per consumer measurements declined from 2006 to 2009. In case you missed it again, that predates the 2015 and 2010 Open Internet orders. These statistics demonstrate that there must be other factors other than the Open Internet orders that account for why wireless carriers decreased their investment in their networks. In 2010, the FCC approved a weaker set of net neutrality rules, which eventually came to an end in 2014. As Clyburn effectively indicates, investment dips have happened before 2010, despite there being no net neutrality rules and no wireless investment, and wireless investment actually rose shortly after the open initial internet order in 2010. The investment then dipped again from 2013 to 2015 before the current net neutrality rules took effect. In response to their criticism, the FCC included an edited chart in its mobile wireless competition report to include Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint's investments data from 2010 through 2016, see above. Before Clyburn's comment, the draft report only went back to 2013. Sorry, hold on, I gotta look at this. This is perfect. Who are these guys? You suck P is really probably Petra. Eat my ass. Classic. There we go. I love eating ass. Alright, so There are many reasons behind the slight fluctuation between years, but one primary explanation is the introduction of 4G LTE. As Ars Technica explains, AT&T's comment further illustrates why minor variations from year to year are not an indication of declining competition. There is no reason to expect capital expenditures to increase by the same amount year after year. Carriers spend a lot of money to expand or upgrade networks when a generation of technology has been introduced, and then focus the next year on signing up customers and integrating those new facilities into their existing networks, and then make additional capital expenditures later, and so on. Pi has essentially cherry-picked 2016 and 2016 only to prove his point. but seen within the overall trend, his ex post facto argument is simply fallacious. If anything, the investment data are an indication of the healthy competition that's present among American wireless companies. Pi has essentially cherry-picked... Oh, that's... we did already, duh. Another issue is causation or lack thereof. Given the variations in expenditures over the last 6 years, it's hard to conclusively state that the dip in 2016 was caused by net neutrality rules. It may be that carriers are focusing on recruiting more customers before they invest in 5G technologies. It may be that infrastructure expansion has plateaued for most carriers. Who knows? In fact, even if the expenditures continue to grow from right up until 2015 and then suddenly decreased, there may be a third factor which could explain this phenomenon. In other words, Pi may be claiming that there is a casual relationship when it's simply a spurious relationship. What happens now? It's possible that Pi could ultimately decide against repealing net neutrality rules due to the enormous amount of opposition. It is possible that Pi will move forward with his plans but be forced to stop due to legal issues. And of course, it's possible that Pi will successfully gut net neutrality rules. If you disagree with Pi's position, however, you can voice your opinion by going to the FCC website. Simply click the Express, blah, 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 blah. You can find more in our previous article. So I'm going to go to FCC website. Let's do this, because I want to do these net neutrality rules right now. So new filing, let's click Express, proceedings, blah, 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 name of filers, Luke Jager, primary contact email. Alright, hold on, let me put a little, let me put a little one of these right here. Oh. Boom. Alright. Enter this. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, alright. Let me get the, there we go. Alright, so, brief comments. Let me go. Egypt Pi is just trying to privatize the internet and ruin competition. Don't let him frick us over small businesses and American consumers. The internet is not something you can control. Go FCC yourself. Alright, cool. Email confirmation. I don't need an email confirmation. Continue to the review screen. Bop, bop, blop. Submit. Alright, cool beans. I already submitted ones before, but, you know, submit some more. Never enough. Never enough submittals. Okay, so now we are going to the next article thing. Move this. So now we've got nonpartisan issue. 300,000 Americans really want to know why the killer do this, what did the killer's note say, and why are you hiding it? Oh man. Interesting. The longer the mainstream media goes without releasing shooter details, the more likely it is because the info will go against their narrative. The FBI was stating as early as 9 a.m. the next day that this was definitely not terror and not ISIS. The only way they could know it's not that, was if they knew what the motives were, yet they haven't released the details. So the FBI is either deliberately lying or attempting to do damage control for the establishment political caste in order to shape the strategy as gun control talking point without having any idea what the real motive was. Let's see. What else do they have? We're getting deep into the comments right now. Alright. Not as much stuff, not as much good stuff on the bottom. So let's take a look at the top. So it's a pen, taped it down, a little note. I'm super curious what was in that, you know? Regardless, Republican or Democrat, I think we can both agree, both sides, that we want to know what the heck's on that note. Alright, cool. This is something that I thought was interesting and wanted to talk about. So, a single dose of ketamine rapidly reduced suicidal thoughts within 1 day and for up to 1 week in depressed patients with suicidal ideation. American Journal of Psychiatry. So, I can tell you from experience, dropping ketamine on a patient who is being combative reduces a lot of things, especially the will to fight. So, let's see. They use it on toddlers who need stitches for pretty much the same reason. Let's see. Nothing really good down here. Alright, so let's click the link. Let's see what it says. The guy who posted it is a doctor with a PhD and an MBA. So it's so it's an actual psychiatry online journal website. This is great. Ooh. This is actually really great. So received April 28th, accepted July 18th, published online October 3rd. So yeah, this was super recent. So let's see what the deal is. Results: ketamine rapidly within 1 day reduced suicidal ideation significantly on both the clinician administered and self-report outcome measured. Effect sizes were moderate to large, Cohen's blah blah blah, and at all times after dosing. A sensitivity analysis demonstrated that compared with control treatments, ketamine had significant benefits on the individual suicide items of the MADRS, the HAM-D, blah blah blah. Ketamine's effect on suicidal ideation remained significant after adjusting for concurrent changes in severity of depression symptoms. Conclusions: ketamine rapidly reduced suicide thoughts within 1 day and for up to 1 week in depressed patients with suicidal ideation. Ketamine's effects on suicidal ideation were partially independent of its effects on mood, although subsequent trials in transdiagnostic samples are required to confirm that ketamine exerts a specific effect on suicidal ideation. Additional research on ketamine's long-term safety and its efficacy in reducing suicide risk is needed before clinical implementation. Cool. I really love all of these new alternative treatments. I don't really like chiropractic, but I mean, it's part of this fucking alternative medicine stuff. Although it's like, I don't even defend that. Like, if someone's like, I hate homeopathic medicine, I hate alternative medicine, why do you hate it? I hate chiropractic. I'd be like, alright, gotcha. It's like, that's a good one. I don't blame you for hating because of that. So let's move on. Hold on. Wow. Document info. Alright, so let's see. Is it red or is it green? 2 hours. 2 hours. Word. I got plenty of time. So it's worth asking why we spend $600 billion a year on the military if we can't get more than 500 troops and 50 helicopters to Puerto Rico. Alright, so I need water really quick. Alright, let's see. Excuse me. Water. The juice. Ooh, water's my lifeblood. Alright, let's see. So, let's see. 600,000 miles, no problem. Tough stuff, less than 1,000 miles. So, we club Penguins, Puerto Rico. Oh my god. Alright, so let's see. Is this just a tweet? Yeah, this is just a tweeter. So, it's an interesting point, but, good luck getting the government to spend that much money. Spend that much money on, actually... Yeah. Sorry, I'm gross. Ew. Sorry, I'm gross. Alright. Good luck getting the government to spend any of that money on, helping out, man. They've got all this money in defense budgets. They've got all these helicopters. They've got all this. But, good luck getting people over there. Good luck people to fly and get down there. Excuse me. Man, this dude was savage. He talked about my nasty-ass teeth. It's like, how do you even see my teeth? That, is it... I mean, I guess my screen's, kind of small. Maybe the quality is better on, the big stream. I don't know. So let's go. IRS awards Equifax no bid, 7.25 million contract after hack. So let's see. Let's read it and then we'll come back and do verify taxpayer identity and read some Reddit comments. Alright, so let's see. Just because your resume says you exposed the personal data, including social security numbers, of some 143 million Americans while practicing unsafe security, it doesn't mean that you can't score a multi-million-dollar contract with the Internal Revenue Service. That's the case even if your name is Equifax and you're being contracted by the IRS to verify taxpayer identity to combat fraud. The $7.25 million no-bid contract to Equifax was posted the final day of the fiscal year, Saturday, on the government's Federal Business Operations Database. It was awarded Friday, 3 weeks after Equifax announced that what ours had described as very possibly the worst leak of personal info ever. According to the posting, Equifax will assist in ongoing identity verifications and validations for the IRS. The contract was a sole source order. That means the IRS has determined that Equifax was the only company deemed capable of performing the contract, according to Politico. The IRS, which should not immediately respond for comment, said in the contract posting that this is considered a critical service that cannot lapse. So, according to the contract posting, this action was to establish an order for third-party data services from Equifax to verify taxpayer identity and to assist in ongoing identity verification and validations needed of the service. Equifax, a credit reporting bureau, exposed a breathtaking amount of highly sensitive data to hackers. Full names, social security numbers, birth dates, addresses, and in some cases, driver's license numbers. That's the information that banks, insurance companies, and other businesses use to confirm that consumers are who they claim to be. Richard Smith, the Equifax CEO at the time of the breach, apologized Tuesday for the hack while testifying before Congress. A series of costly delays and crucial errors caused the company to remain unprotected for months against one of the most severe web application vulnerabilities in years. The criminal hack happened on my watch. I take full responsibility. I'm here today to say to each and every person affected by this breach that I'm truly and deeply sorry for what happened. Yeah, you're deeply sorry, but that's not going to get our fucking information back. You're making how much money? You're making billions of dollars, and you couldn't spend $1 million of that, $2 million of that on some fucking security? This guy looks like a fuckhead. Alright. He looks like an old, rich, stuck-up asshole. He just looks like it. So, let's see. Let's go to this. Alright, so 16-year-old savage in Oklahoma robs elderly couple, murders man, then rapes woman, repeats process. So, this is a comment by the guy that's there. So, let's see. This is my town. I know of this shit. I am friends of the people who know this monster. There have been a huge spike in teenagers pulling shit like this. Remember a few months back when the teens who broke into someone's house and ended up getting killed by the son? Same town. They were all armed with deadly weapons and had intent to use them, and he shot them with an AR. This is why we have guns. For some reason, these teens think they are big shots and can commit crimes like this and not face opposition. Edit. I'm going to clarify my guns comment. The reason you should be able to own a gun is because it creates an even playing field. If that man had been armed, he would have had a better chance of defending himself and his wife from a young man who is in their prime physical condition. Had his wife had a gun, she could have defended herself from someone who obviously overpowered her. Now, you can point to Australia and say, look at them, they outlawed guns and they haven't had anything like this happen. There is a huge difference in Australia and the United States of America. Australia is an island and they are able to monitor almost every single thing that enters the country. The U.S. has two monstrous borders on the north and south. Vast portions of these borders are not monitored right now. There's really no way to monitor them. The Mexican cartels take advantage of this and run guns and drugs to and from the states, obviously making a ton of money. If we had a wall and we patrolled the wall and completely stopped the flow of illegal guns, then you could compare Australia to the United States, because the situations would be more similar because criminals wouldn't be able to get guns as easy. But criminals don't care about guns. They want to commit a crime. They will use whatever they can. Look at the knife attacks or the van attacks or the bombings all over the world in countries that have outlawed guns. Criminals don't care if there's law. They are going to commit horrendous acts regardless. Now, if you still don't get it, answer this question. You are a criminal armed with a gun and want to rob a bunch of people and are presented with two full rooms of people. One is disarmed, they have no guns at all. The other has the same amount of people, but each one of them has a gun. Which is easier for you to rob? Which would you rather attack? Okay. So, let's see what this kid is. He looks like the kind of guy to do that. He was a good boy. He didn't do nothing wrong, except he did. Investigators in Tulsa, Oklahoma say that 16-year-old Deontay Green was not only a vile and despicable animal in his actions, but his bloodthirsty and primitive nature have permanently destroyed an innocent family. Tulsa Police Sergeant Dave Walker says that Deontay Green isn't an innocent child at all, and the horrific beast kidnapped an elderly couple and forced them to drive to an ATM at gunpoint, making them withdraw their max daily allowance. After taking the cash that wasn't enough for this disgusting mongrel, he then decided to make the elderly couple go back to their home, at which point he shot the man, killing him instantly. Oh no, the despicable beast wasn't done. At this point,